Om Shri Sai Ram. Sai Ram, dear brothers, sisters, elders, and children. Welcome to the 26th edition of Samarpan program here at Sarvadharma Service Center in Farmingdale Borough, Howell Township, New Jersey, United States. On this last week of March 2024, which also happens to be our 9th anniversary celebration day of the actual inaugural day of March 29th, 2015. We were supposed to have this program last Saturday, as we usually do this on the 4th week of the month, but Swami willed otherwise due to the inclement weather we had last week. Therefore, we had to postpone it to this special occasion. So the Samarpan program is presented by our very dear brother, Sri Abhishek Sharma. Brother Abhishek's association with Swami goes back more than 3 decades, starting as a very young Balvika student in Mumbai. During this period, he was fortunate to see Swami in person through the annual Parthi Yatras with fellow devotees and taking part in cultural events in Mumbai and Parthi as part of the Balvikas program. He secured first position in the Maharashtra State Group 2 Balvikas program, and these initial experiences kindled a strong desire to study in his college that the Lord fulfilled in the year 2000 when he got admitted to the Sri Sathya Sai Higher Secondary School in Puttaparthi. As the cultural captain in the higher secondary school, he received the trophy from Swami at the conclusion of the annual sports meet, which was actually meant for the Brindavan campus. Brother Abhishek took it as a divine indication to pursue further studies there. In the year 2002, he participated in the summer showers at Brindavan. In the divine presence, and Bhagwan blessed him with a ring for securing the first place among fellow graduates. After completing his undergraduate studies with a Bachelor of Science honors in physics in the year 2005, he went on to pursue a Master of Science degree in photonics in the Puttaparthi campus in the year 2007, where he secured a gold medal from the Divine Chancellor himself. Abhishek then proceeded to pursue his second undergraduate degree, the Masters of Technology in Applied Optics, as a student in the first batch, as the program was just started the same year, 2007. He then secured a second gold medal in this program in the year 2009. During this period of 9 years as a student, Swami, out of his immense love and compassion, bestowed upon Abhishek countless opportunities to participate in academic, sports, religious, cultural, and service activities that got him further intimacy with the Lord, who taught him valuable lessons for life. As a student, Abhishek was part of the Vedam group and participated in every cultural event held in Parthi and Brindavan. He not only learned new Veda mantras from the teachers and seniors, but he also taught the same to the juniors, and after passing out from the institute to devotees in and around Brindavan, that includes my own family members, and also a few in Japan, South Africa, United Kingdom, and the United States remotely, who now themselves continue to teach Vedam to other new devotees. Since the year 2011, Swami in his defined form has continued to guide him at every step, for which he is eternally grateful. Abhishek moved to the United States in the year 2016 and lives in Mountain Lakes, New Jersey with his wife, Sister Divya, an alumnus of the Sri Sathya Sai Women's College, Anantapur, and their twin children, Dhruti and Pratyay. Brother Abhishek continues to teach Vedam and bhajans to the kids. We are glad that the entire Sharma family is here with us today, and we hope to have another Samarpan program with Sister Divya another day. Abhishek currently works at Cisco Systems and is part of the global sales team. He is very happy to be present with all of us today, as he expressed it, and would like to thank Swami for giving this unique opportunity to relive the fond memories with him in Mumbai, Puttaparthi, Bengaluru, and Kodaikanal, and also share the same with all of us. With this, I would like to invite Brother Abhishek to the podium and request him to share his experiences with us, with Swami, for the next 70 minutes or so. Welcome, Brother Abhishek. Sairam.
Om Shri Sairam. Dearest Swami, my pranams to you. Thank you, Brother Sai, for the kind introduction. It was the year 1997, and it was the first Parthi Yatra that I participated. Now, hailing from Mumbai, it was a complete different experience for me. Waking up early in the morning, having bath in cold water, adorning the whites, and then going for darshan, sitting in the line with fellow devotees, it was something I had never experienced before in Mumbai. Now, Swami had also plans to make my first visit even more memorable. During the darshans, now the way we got inside the mandir was through the token system. So we had to pick the tokens, and then depending on what token number you got, you were able to get into the mandir in that particular order. It so happened that on the first day, whichever line I was sitting in, that token number came out first. I was very thrilled. Now it happened the next day as well, and the following day. And it continued to happen. And I saw the divine hand here, that how is it possible? It cannot just be coincidence, but this is Swami's ways of attracting you initially to his fold. Not only that, he also started accepting letters from me, and I started writing a letter almost every day because I could see that Swami was taking letters from me. And then there were other brothers and sisters who were also there with us who started giving their letters to me. So almost like an instrument, I started handing over their letters as well. Now with this as the first experience of Puttaparthi, once I went back to Mumbai, I had a strong feeling. I wanted to continue to be part of that journey. How could I get more opportunities to come to Puttaparthi? Swami gave that opportunity in 2 years' time, in the year 1999. As part of the Ashadi group, the Mumbai Balvika students, we all had put up a program, and this program was called the Spiritual Car Rally. Now, my role in this particular drama was of a showroom manager who takes the lead character of that drama and takes him towards God. Now, we were very strictly instructed by our Balvika's gurus that in case Swami decides at the end of the program to come and give all of us a group photo, everyone should be in their designated spots and should be kneeling down. And nobody should try to crowd near Swami. Now, with this instruction, we all were very orderly, kneeling down. Bhagwan was very gracious and he came to us. And then he looked at me and he signaled me to come and stand next to him. Now, I was confused and I was looking at the Balvika's gurus because I was scared that I was going to disobey them. But then Swami again insisted and lent his hand out. So I mustered the courage, I got up, and he made me stand next to him. And then that was also the time when I first got Vibhuti. Swami materialized Vibhuti and gave me. Now this experience really changed, getting that very close proximity with Swami, which I hadn't. It now made that desire to study in Swami's college even stronger in my heart. So I mustered courage and I asked Bhagwan, Bhagwan, I would like to join your college. And Swami told, come after 12th. Now, I was in my 10th grade, so I was like, I would need to wait for 2 more years. But then one of my senior brother's mother told, Swami's college is from 12th. 11th and 12th is higher secondary school. Why don't you apply? If Swami wills, he'll get the admission. And true to that words, I got an admission. So in the year 2000, I joined Sri Satya Sai Higher Secondary School as part of the science stream. Now, with this experience in the past, where in the year 97 through the Parthi Yatra, in 99 through the Ashadi program, the mind plays this kind of funny things where I started thinking, now that I'm in Parthi, maybe I'll get even more proximity. So this is going to be really a great time to be with Swami. But Swami has his own ways and his own divine plan. My first encounter with Swami was a day before Ganesh Chaturthi. So this was the year 2001. Now, what we used to do back then was during Ganesh Chaturthi, a day before, we would take the Ganesha idols that we were going to go and do puja in the hostel, and we would take them to Swami and get it blessed, and that's how we'll start that proceeding. Now, I was sitting with another brother in the first row because I was also part of the hostel puja team, and we used to do Ganesh puja in the lobby. So I got this opportunity to represent the higher secondary school with that brother and take that Ganesha idol with me. It so happened that on that particular day, Swami was very angry. And the reason for his anger was a couple of senior brothers from the college had skipped college in the afternoon session and had come to Mandir. And that day, Swami happened to come early. And he was very upset to see that the students were not following the discipline of the college, but had come to Mandir. So he was very angry and upset at the warden and the principal, and he started scolding them. And in between all of this, as he was scolding the teachers who were seated there on the portico, he was looking at us, and the only two words that I gathered very clearly, which he kept repeating, was Dunapota Budiledu. And I'll just translate. It means, buffalo, you have no brains. And when he looked directly into that eye, I was like, what have I done wrong here? Right? And I was in literal tears because this is not the kind of experience I thought I should be having. And back then, the thought in my head was that Swami was so loving, so caring, but maybe I have done something wrong here. Now that thought continued with me through that entire year, and the only thing in my mind was, how do I improve? Maybe there is something that I have done wrong, but I should fix that and make Swami proud. Now the next year, in the year 2001, when I was in the 12th grade, we had the Grama Seva in the month of October, coinciding with the Veda Saptagnana Yajnam. Now this was the second edition of the Grama Seva. Now, the first time, the pilot, we had done very nearby villages because we just wanted to know how that is done. But with that being a very good success, all the teachers and everyone thought, and with Swami's kind permission, decided to do it at a much grander scale, covering even more villages on the outskirts of Puttaparthi. Now, this was also the time when it was an optional Grama Seva for the students. Because the previous year, we all stayed back. But this year, it was optional. Those who wanted to go home could go. And then those who wanted to stay for Gram Seva could. So I thought this is an opportunity to stay back and maybe through Seva, please Swami here. Now, it so happened that it was such a wonderful experience through this Gram Seva, and especially going to those far-off places, starting early. And for those who don't know, it was such a collaborative effort here with the Mahila Sevadals and the sisters cooking that food early in the morning and then packing it together, and then the Gent Sevadal loading it into the vehicles, and then the students, the boys, going to the villages and distributing it. Now, one particular day, and I still remember this, we had gone to a very far-off place, right? And we were distributing the food there, and Swami's strict instruction were, don't question when those people in the village ask for extra food, right? Because they eat definitely more, they need more energy, but y'all should not be questioning. So we were very lavish in the prasadam that we were giving, and it so happened that we ran out of prasadam. And then there was another section of that village that was left, and it was getting quite late. And then we took a decision with the senior brother who was in charge that we'll wait for the reinforcement to come, and then once it comes, we will complete this village and then we'll head back. Now it was quite late, and again, the reinforcement had to come from a far-off place, so we waited almost 20-25 minutes. And then once it came, we went to all those houses, finished distributing the prasadam there, and then we sat there to partake that same prasadam. When one of the brother who was sitting next to me, he told me, I think we should not take this prasadam. And I'm like, why do you think so, brother? He's like, look, I think it's starting to smell a bit, and I think it's almost so late. And I had this blind faith when I told, look, this is Swami's prasadam, and Swami is going to be very angry. I'm going to partake it. And I decided to take that prasadam. And then we got message that Swami was waiting for the last batch, which was ours, to come and come to the mandir because he wanted to address all of us. Now, we were very thrilled. And in our minds, we started thinking, look, we did this seva now, and we went out of our way, and we ensured that we cover even the last part of the village. So Swami will be very proud of us. Right? And again, this was the thought in all our minds. And once we come to mandir, first Swami started talking that he's so pleased that we're doing this gram seva, it's going so well, he can see all the devotees thanking and so on and so forth. And then he remarked that there are some students who think that doing this seva and waiting for a long time and then distributing it in the late afternoon and giving all this prasadam is something that would make Swami happy, but they have not used their discrimination. Because the food that was cooked early in that morning, if you give that late in the afternoon, it's going to spoil the health for not only the people there, but also whoever partakes it. Now, if that wasn't enough, I had a tummy upset over the next 2 days. So literally it was like a message that yes, faith is good, but blind faith is not, and discrimination is very important. So for the next 2 days, I did not go to for the Gram Seva, and I was in the room going on praying to Swami, Swami, what did I do here? Please, I want to come back and do the Gram Seva. And true to it, the third day I was fine. And Swami, who's our Hriday Nivasi, he heard that prayer, and I got that opportunity that day to get the prasadam blessed by Swami. So again, it was almost like making up for what was lost in the prior 2 days. So this was another very touching experience that I remember. Now that same year, the tradition typically in Puttaparthi was that the outgoing batch, we put up a gratitude program in front of Swami. Right? So this happens for all the batches. So we were in 12th, so we would pass out from the higher secondary school. So we had put up a program. Swami was very happy with that program. Now he remarked that I'll come to the hostel and I'll spend time with all of you. We were very happy. And not only that, he told, after your exams, come to Brindavan and I will grant you an interview in Trai. Now, for those of us who know, the Trai interview and in the Jhula room, it's a very coveted thing. And we have heard so many stories of how intimate Swami is during those Trai interviews. Now, Swami came to hostel, everything was great, exam went on well, and our thought was, now we have to rush to, and we had, the date was decided when we'll have that interview in Trai Brindavan. But how do you decide who goes first, right? Because the room, for those of us who know and have been there, it's a very narrow room. And again, if you have to cram 80 students along with the teachers there has to be an order in which you go. So we decided that there will be a token system, and again, similar to how devotees were ushered inside the hall, we had to pick these tokens. Now it so happened that I got token number 1. And with that token number 1, our wing teacher, sir, he told me, the token number 1 gets to sit right in front of Bhagwan under his feet, and can even have sparshan and do pada seva. And in my mind, I started thinking, maybe these 2 years, for all the scolding, and maybe I did something wrong and everything that happened, maybe this is an opportunity now that I'm going to get being right in front of Swami. But Swami again has his own plans, and he has his own time to get things conveyed in his own divine way. So it so happened that on that day, we were all brought and we were made to sit on the lawns of Trai Brindavan. And then the warden, sir, he told, let me go and tell Swami that the students have come, and then you all can come inside. And he had gone through the main door inside Trai. And then immediately once he left inside, Swami came from the other door behind. And he's like, students, what are you all doing here? Go inside. I've been waiting for you. And at that moment, the moment he signaled that, everybody rushed inside. And I was thinking in my mind, what happened to that order and going in that order and me getting that token number 1? And then we all are inside, and I'm trying to squeeze and make my way, and I'm far away from the Jula, and now I'm really upset that I thought I got this token, and teachers had told all of this. I hadn't got these opportunities in the past 2 years, and all of those thoughts were going. But somehow I rushed myself, muscled myself inside, and I sat next to the Jula. And I wanted to somehow at least touch the Jula, move the Jula, and then I looked at the brothers who were there at Swami's feet. And now the program went on very well. Swami was, as usual, in a very, very nice, jovial mood, very intimate, telling a lot of things to us, blessing us, giving us a lot of career guidance. At the end of the program, because I was sitting behind, I thought, I'd got this token, and Swami, look, for some reason this didn't happen, but I need some sparshan, some sambhashan with you, so I'll hide back. So I hid back a bit. All the other students had almost rushed. And then I went to Swami, and I wanted to hold his hand and get him out, because the next thing was getting group photographs on the steps. Now this was again not my time, because Swami was upset, and he looked at me, and he's like, go. And I'm like, Swami, I wanted to talk something, and he was now upset that I was not going. So he called one more boy, and he's like, hold my hand, and he took him there. Now to me, this was, Swami, not only am I not getting this, but you're asking somebody else to come. And I was very dejected. So I decided maybe this is not my time. And I just went there outside on the steps, and I was kneeling. And when the photograph came and my time was there, I was looking down. I didn't want to look up, and in my head, it is, maybe I'm still lacking something and I've not made Swami proud, and that's why he's not giving me these opportunities. So I was looking down, and immediately I heard this tap on my head. And then when I looked up, it was Swami, and Swami's like, look front, they're taking a photo. And I'm like, no, Swami, I will not. And I had that audacity back then to tell no to Swami, but again, that's the relationship as well, when I look back. And then when I looked up, and then Swami was like stern, and again, like it happened in that year 99, he told, stand next to me. So again, the other brothers were kneeling, I was standing, but then this thought came to me is, this was Swami's heart, right? Maybe it's not my time, but because I felt bad, he felt even bad, that I felt bad. And that's how he immediately did this. And now in hindsight, when I look at it, and the brothers who got that opportunity to do that Pada Seva, they needed it the most that time, because they did not continue their education after that. They had to leave the institute, and they pursued their medical and whatever other courses outside. So maybe that was the real good opportunity, and Swami wanted to give them his grace and blessing, so they got that opportunity. But somehow this thought, even after this incident, in me it continued, and I went back home to Mumbai, and through that summer vacation I kept thinking, I have done something these 2 years that Swami's not been happy. I think I should do something to make him happy. And with that, we get a message that particular year, Swami was going to conduct the summer showers in Vrindavan, right? And we were very happy, because Swami had called us 15 days prior to when was the scheduled time to join college. And he wanted the students who were joining the Vrindavan campus and the post-graduation students in Puttaparthi to come for the summer course. Now that was another fantastic experience, just having everybody there, including the sisters from Anantpur, in Vrindavan, in the morning going for darshan, and then going to the institute auditorium, listening to the talks from the elders, and all of us rushing back, because Swami decided to give a Parayanam over the next 15 days on Ramayana. Right? And Swami was sharing so many intimate details of Rama, stories which we have never heard, that we all felt. And then in the evening, we all used to meet again, and the teachers used to tell, what did we learn today? What did Swami's discourse teach us? So this was a very unique experience, not only to be immersed in those values, but also to bond with your fellow classmates and students who were there, right? And so it was such a wonderful time in Vrindavan. Now, on one particular day, And Swami decided to come to the auditorium. And the moment we got to know that Swami was coming, there was a lot of hustle. And everyone were waiting near the main door in that college auditorium because that's how they expected Swami to come. For a very strange reason, Swami decided he won't come in the very conventional way from the main part. He came from behind and he started walking the stairs. He started walking up and he came and he sat and he asked one of the brother who was there in one of the seats to get up because he wanted to sit there among the chairs. So this was not his chair, it was just one of the regular chairs. Now the moment Swami sat there, all of us who were sitting in that row decided to just get up and we all sat down. And we were looking at Swami. And it was really cramped because everyone wanted to get close to Swami. And Swami was there listening to the speaker who was talking. And after a few minutes, Swami decided to get up and go to the main podium where his chair was there. And as he was getting up, because it was so cramped, even though I was crouching there, his leg went over my feet. His feet went over my feet, and as he was going down. Now, this was a time, and I hadn't shared this with a lot of people. My mother, I told her later, I had a problem with my skin back then. I had this dry skin, and because of the dry skin, and again, maybe it was the weather in Vrindavan being cool, but I had tried to apply some moisturizer and some medicine. It wasn't going, and then every time I had bath, it used to burn because the skin was peeling. After this incident, and again, we have heard all of these miracles being done by Swami and all the masters there. All of a sudden, overnight, it disappeared. And the skin became completely fine. So to me, maybe all of this was Swami's Leela, that maybe he wanted to cure me of that particular condition. Now, towards the end of summer course, there was an exam that we had to take. And this exam, all the students from the Vrindavan and Anantapur and Puttaparthi campus were writing that exam. Now, the one thought which was always again there in me was, for some reason, I couldn't complete my Bal Vikas. Right? I completed my second level, but as I was going to complete my third group, I got admitted to Puttaparthi and in Swami's college. So every time I used to talk to my Bal Vikas gurus, I used to tell them I didn't get an opportunity to complete the Bal Vikas program, the third group as well. And it so happened that Swami had his own divine plans, that at the end of this exam, the summer course exam that we took, along with the brother from Puttaparthi, I kind of topped the exam in Vrindavan. And Swami decided to give us a gift. So we were waiting there. And then Swami was very gracious and he presented a ring that he materialized. And he gave it to me. That day evening, I call up my mother and I'm so excited to share. But the moment I tell that Swami has given me a ring, my mother started crying on the phone. And I was like, is it out of happiness that is she crying or is there something? And then she narrated this incident to me. Now this happened in the year 1999, a year before I was joining the hostel or the Puttaparthi higher secondary school. My mother, along with my grandmother, had visited an astrologer in Mumbai and shown my horoscope to that astrologer. And the astrologer had seen and told, this is a very nice horoscope, but in 3 years from now, after he finishes his 12th grade, there will be some problems that he'll face, but you come to me before that, and I'll give you a green stone, and that ask him to wear, and then he should be fine. And my mother had completely forgotten about this. And then when I told that Swami has given me this ring and it's a green stone in gold, she started weeping that as a mother, she had forgotten, but the Divine Mother Swami had still remembered that and decided to give that to me. So this was another very memorable incident that happened in that particular year, my first year joining Vrindavan. Now it so happens that in Vrindavan, you don't get that proximity because you're not seeing Swami on an everyday basis. So that separation was there, and especially when this was such a wonderful moment through summer course, having Swami be in Puttaparthi, I was missing Swami a lot. And then that end of that year, in the year 2003, in around the March time frame, Swami decided to come to Vrindavan, right? And this is typically, he used to spend his summers in Vrindavan. And it so happened that after the Aarti, when we go, there was a practice that students go and offer a rose to Bhagwan. And then Bhagwan normally would take that rose and put it back in that student. The student gets a photograph. Everything is great. So one particular student, for some reason, he was scared. He was afraid to go to Swami because in Brindavan, you had to climb a few steps to go to that center stage where there was a Krishna statue and Bhagwan used to be seated. For some reason, he was hesitant in giving that rose. And it didn't go down well with some teachers who decided that maybe we should have a pattern of a few students who are more confident, and for some reason, me and a couple of brothers were chosen, and it was almost like a cyclical thing that we were giving roses, the three of us, over and over. Now, it happened over 2 rounds, and we were giving this rose. Now, obviously, this is human nature here, that our other classmates, they started telling, okay, today it's whose chance? Okay, let me guess. It should be Abhishek, or it should be Aditya, it should be... And then we were so upset that for some reason we thought, maybe this is not fair. And again, that is again our limited mind. We did not know that this is Swami's divine will. But then we started thinking, and we started praying to Swami. Swami, you are mother to all the children here, and we are hearing this from our other brothers. Why don't you give this opportunity to the others as well? And this is when, for some reason, it stopped, that particular cycle. And then there was another brother who benefited, and he gave all of these roses. But this was another very good lesson that I learned, is don't question the divine will here, right? Again, people will tell a lot of things, and again, but if your focus is on the Lord and you believe that He has a divine plan, just go with it, right? And this was in the year, again, 2003. And then in 2005, as I finished my graduation, being part of the Vedam group, we had an opportunity to chant the paragraph from Shikshavali, Vedamanuchacharya, as an invocation before the proceedings for the convocation began. So we were seated there in front. Now, this was the year where I secured the 3rd position in that BSc, but only the gold medalist gets that opportunity to come near Bhagwan and get the medal from the Divine Chancellor. It so happened that for that particular stream in BSc Physics, right, the brother who got the gold medal, he was not able to make it on the convocation day. And the sister who got the 2nd place, she was also not there. And I was got the 3rd position, and I was seated there. And in my mind, I kept praying to Swami, Swami, it is fine. Somehow, even give me a bronze medal, it is fine, but at least I want to come near you. I want that the proximity, because I miss that a lot, having spent a few years in Brindavan and not having that intimacy. Now, maybe that thought was very strong in me, and I know my wife jokes a lot, is maybe the gold medals that I got later on was maybe because Swami wanted to give that, but that moment that thought was, what can I do to just be close to Swami? So the gold medal was just another assured way to get that proximity. So this happened in the year 2005. And then in 2006, I joined Puttaparthi again for my master's. And I was thrilled that now again, I could go for darshan on an almost everyday basis. And I also thought, and this is the time when I have to make up for all the lost time that I did not get this proximity. So we used to have games on a particular day. I think it was a Wednesday or a Thursday. And we used to, all the teachers used to make us go for the games. And then that particular day, Swami would have already come, had the darshan, so we'll go only for the bhajans. So I thought that this is not a good time. This is a waste of time for me to be in the stadium and playing these games. So I'm going to bunk these games, and I'm going to go to Mandir. And I used to always try to sneak out. Now, one fine day, one of our teachers, he caught me, and he's like, Swami is not going to be happy if you do this, because this is something that Swami expects, that students should also be physically strong, right? And that's why these are there. But in my mind, it was, I don't want to. For some reason, I feel these few years that are left of being a student, I should make the best chance of it. So I used to go to Mandir, and again, I ignored everything that the teacher said. I continued to go to Mandir. And those days, I had again this very strange thought that maybe I should sit in one particular place on an everyday basis. So even though if our class were first and we were standing front of that line, we could have got the opportunity to be in the third block, right in front of that Ganesha portico. But I decided that my place will always be in the fourth block near that lion statue. So I had made that place for myself. Now, even if that opportunity was there to sit in that third block, I decided this is the place I want to be. So the entire year, in the year 2006, come what may, I always went and sat in that one particular place on an everyday basis. Now, I'll come to this, what happened a little later, because this was very interesting and taught me another very interesting lesson around consistency and that perseverance. But I know that we're going to have an Atirudram here very soon, very shortly, so I thought I'll share one experience from the first Atirudra Mahayagnam that was conducted in Puttaparthi in the year 2006. Now, as we all can imagine, the first time happening in that divine presence, and then Nanjundar Dikshit sir and everybody, the atmosphere was just reverberating. And again, with all the Veda mantras, with so many priests, it was a spectacle we had never experienced before. And I was thrilled. And again, having that attraction towards Vedam, I thought this is really fantastic, that this is such an amazing time to be in Parthi, in the divine presence, and have all of this Veda chanting happening. I was also part of the Prasadam distribution group. So I decided that while I hear all of this Vedam chanting that's happening and participated in, but in the evening, I'll also be a part of distributing that Prasadam to all the devotees. And then there was a thought that crossed my mind is how nice it would be if all the devotees who are there, and whether they are inside the hall or they are outside, it would be great if everyone gets prasadam and we don't leave anybody out of getting that prasadam. So this was my thought back then. And with that thought, I decided we'll distribute prasadam. Now, on one of the days, I believe it was a day where it was very packed, and I think it was a weekend, so maybe more people had poured in. And the teachers in charge, or the mandir in charge, who was also in charge of prasadam, was, be careful, there could be a stampede, so let's avoid some of those parts. And I was already in a MSc, so I was more in college, so I was thinking, that is right, but in my mind, I have it that I have to give prasadam to everybody. So if I get this prasadam, I'm going to go to all of those places. And even though it was very packed, I started muscling myself through that entire way. And towards the end, starting from there, I started giving prasadam. Once it got over, again, I motivated some more brothers. Hey, let's go there and let's start giving. So some juniors also joined me. And we started giving prasadam to everybody. Now, this happened on an everyday basis that we were giving this prasadam. At the end of it, during the conclusion of the Atirudra Mahayagnam, as we know, there's prokshanam that happens, right? So with the divine water that's energized through the entire process through all those days, Swami was taking that water and he was doing prokshanam. And I was sitting somewhere far behind because, again, that day I wanted to again go and distribute prasadam. And then Swami comes near me, and then he takes that with that brush, and he hit me 3 times on my head with that water. And a few of those drops also went into my mouth. And Swami then gave 2 hands like this and blessed me. Now, to me, this was a fantastic experience because in my mind, that initial thought, that selfless thought that not a single devotee should be missed, maybe that thought again came because of Swami, but he wanted to acknowledge that that selfless thought and that service that you did, I could see that because, again, I'm your indweller. So this was another very great experience that I thought I'll share as part of Atirudram also happening here really soon. Now, coming back to that earlier experience where I was sitting in that same place, it so happened that after a few months, Swami, if we remember back then, he used to be on a wheelchair. And again, there were brothers who were pushing Bhagwan from Yajur Mandir in. So as he was coming, he used to stop where I was sitting and talk to me. And it used to be anything about how was your day in school, and like a real good friend, Swami was having all of this. And again, it goes back to all that craving that I had to have that sambhashan maybe. But it almost happened that on an almost everyday basis, Swami used to talk to me where I was seated there. Now, one fine day, I wasn't seated there, and then the brother who was pushing, he was like, Swami was looking around like this because you were not in that place. And I literally started shedding tears that maybe this is what is consistency and having that perseverance, but the Lord looking for you is something very special. And on my birthday, I remember, and on my birthdays, it was something of a very unique experience. And that particular day, Swami came in his chair, in his car. And I was like, oh, if only Swami would have come in the chair, I could have taken my tray and got it blessed. Because for some reason on my birthdays, I hadn't got an opportunity to get close to Swami and give him or get blessings from him. On that particular day, Swami came in the car and he passed by me. He looked at me and he used to make some funny faces, and some of my brothers used to tell, hey, Swami is just playing with you because he's making all of these funny faces. So it's almost like that Sakya Bhakti, like as a friend, he's making all of this very, very nice faces, and it just made me very happy. On that particular day, again, Swami just smiled and he went. And then he stopped the car and then he called me. And I went near him and he asked, what is special today? I told Swami, today is my birthday. And then Swami is like, oh, birthday? Very good. And then he lowered, the glass was fully lowered. He took Akshada, he blessed me, and then he told, live a long life and study well. Right? I'm just translating this. And then he gave this, and it was such an amazing experience that after so many years of waiting for a good birthday blessing, this just came from Swami. And then the following year, 2007, I was going to complete my MSc. And that was also a year when some of us wrote an all India exam called the GATE exam. Now, this was to get admission into IITs, right? And then all of us were studying, but my thought was always, how am I going to make the best? Because in my heart, somewhere I started feeling that this might be my last year and I might not be able to continue my education further. So that particular year in 2007, and I still remember the day, it was 18th of March, it was the day when the GATE exam result was announced. And on that particular day, Swami came near me. Now, as he was, the previous experiences coming there and stopping near me, he used to always ask me, "En Kavali, what do you want? What do you want?" Now, the one thing I learned, and this goes back to my maternal grandmother, she used to tell me a story that about this particular person who the king offered a lot of riches that was there on the wayside, but he decided to go to the king direct because getting the king means he gets everything, right? So that thought stuck to me. And then there's also another message from Chinmayananda, which was attached to God and detached from the world. Now, these two were always playing in me. So every time Swami used to ask me, what do you want? I told Swami, I only want you. Now, maybe I did not know what is that meaning, because some days Swami came and he asked, what do you want? I told Swami, I want you. And he told me, okay, take me. And I don't know what am I doing. So maybe I wasn't. But that particular day, on that 18th of March, Swami comes again and he tells, in Kavali, what do you want? And I told, Swami, I only want you. And he waved his hand and he created a chain for me. And he showed me the pendant and he told me, what do you see? I told, Swami, I see you. He told, come here. And he started putting that chain on me. Now, this is another thing I did want to share. I used to see other devotees and students getting a chain. But that time, for some reason, Swami used to struggle, and then the brothers who were around used to try and help Swami. And one or two occasions, I've also seen them putting that chain. And in my mind, Swami is there. Swami can do all of this. He's the God. Why do others have to do this? Isn't that an opportunity for Swami and that person to get that intimacy? So with that, my thought was, if I ever get a chain, Swami, I want you to put that chain. I don't want anybody else trying there. Now, as usual, Swami was trying to open it, and he struggled. So the brother came forward. And then Swami was like, hey, no. And he moved those brothers away, and he's like, I'm going to do it myself. So I was thrilled, because for an extra 2 or 3 minutes, I was still on Swami's lap, because my head was on his lap, and he was trying to put that chain and put it back in. After he put the chain, he showed me the pendant, and he told, what do you see? I told Swami, I see you. And he put it, and he told, I'm always there with you. And he blessed me. Now, very interestingly, the way he put that chain and that pendant was, the pendant was inverted. So the chain, Swami was facing towards me, the Om was is facing outside. So that's how we had put. So to me, it was possibly the message that I am in you, always remember me. for that. So this happened on that particular day of that GATE exam. And I also attributed that when I wrote this GATE exam, my thought was not on getting into IIT. My thought was, if I can somehow get a good rank, Swami would be happy with me. And maybe this was just another assurance, because I remember when I wrote that exam, I hadn't prepared, but I really got a good rank because I had left everything to Swami, because my thought was not out of the outcome of going to IIT. So this happened in the year 2007. And that particular year, there's another very interesting incident I thought I'll share here. We were seated inside the bhajan hall. It was supposed to be a drama, and we were participating, so we got a lot of opportunities to participate in these dramas. So we're sitting right in front of the bhajan hall, and Swami was there, and that particular day, he didn't want to see the drama. He wanted to give us career counseling, because he knew that a lot of us were going to pass out. So he started talking to us, what are you doing, what should you do next, so on and so forth. Now, I went near Swami, and I told Swami, I want to be with you. And Swami looked at me, and then he told this. He told, nearness is not dearness. Today you are near, tomorrow you would be far. Maybe in US, maybe in UK. But what Swami wants is you should be dear to Swami. Now this message has stuck to me for so many years. Every time I think about it, it flashes to me, nearness is not dearness, nearness is not dearness. Now, during this process again, one of those days, this was in the year 2008, I was seated in front, and the priest was giving a talk on Gayatri Mantra. Now, he spoke about Gayatri Mantra, and towards the end of his talk, Swami calls me, and he tells, Gayatri Mantra Cheppu. And okay, I know Gayatri Mantra, I chant Om Bhurbo Swaha. And Swami is upset, and I still remember, he almost wanted to slap me. And I didn't understand, why did Swami wanted to slap me? I thought I'm chanting Gayatri. And then I remembered, the Gayatri Chandas, it actually starts with Tat Savitur Varenyam, right? It's not starts with Om Bhurbo Swaha, it starts. And that's what the priest had explained. And then Swami is looking at the priest and he's telling, look, this is the state with the students here, right? The eyes are on Swami, they look at you with all the attention, the mind is all over, right? And then when you ask them, they don't know. And then he asked me, what loka do you want? In Telugu, he asked, what loka do you want? Now, I had no idea what does a loka mean. But the only thing I knew is, if Swami wants to give something, don't say no. So I told Swami, I don't know what is a loka, but if you want to give, you decide what loka you want to give. And then the priest who was there, Swami, if I can interject, give him Sai Loka, he'll be happiest. That's what he told him. And then in my mind, why did I not ask that? Why was my focus not on Swami and asking for Sai Loka? I don't know what's a Bhu Loka. I don't know what's a Bhuva Loka and a Suva Loka. But this was another incident which I started thinking, is there something deeper here through all these experiences that Swami is trying to convey to me, which became clear over the years, which I'll share real quick here. Now, during this same time, one of those days, it so happened that it was the birthday of one of my roommate who loved to eat. So we decided that, hey, we are the senior-most students, we are in MTech, maybe we can make it special for him and we'll get him some food that he really likes from outside. So one of the other brothers who was there, he told me, hey, can you come with me and you can help me because it's going to be really heavy for me to carry alone. I told, look, and in my mind, it was like, I'm helping him. So yeah, I think Swami is going to be happy. So I'll go and I'll carry it. And then I'm making also the birthday boy's birthday special. Thinking that, I go and I'm waiting outside. And one of the teachers who was also part of our discipline committee, he happened to see me that day. Now, I was pulled up into the warden's office that particular evening. And then the teachers told me, what kind of an indication are you giving outside? Because during the day, devotees would see you, Swami is talking to you, and then you are getting that proximity with Swami. But in the evening, if you stand outside, what would they think? Are we not giving good food for these students that they have to wait here and take food from outside? So they were like, this is not a good thing that happened. You need to ask forgiveness. And the warden told me, you need to ask forgiveness from Swami. And I'm like, okay, sir, tomorrow I'm going to go and I'll ask forgiveness from Swami. So the next day, I go to, it was some particular festival, so it was very packed as well. But I remember Swami came there. Now I went near Swami, he told, what happened? And then I told Swami everything that had happened, and I asked for forgiveness. I told Swami, I'll not repeat this again, I'm really sorry. And then he told, be a good boy, give Pad Namaskar, and Swami went. Now I go back to the hostel, and innocently I tell the teachers, sir, Swami has, I accepted apology from Swami, Swami has apologized. Now the teachers were very unhappy. They were like, I possibly used my position of having that proximity with Swami and went against them. Now this is where Swami played his next Leela with me, is he respects that position of that teacher and that discipline. So over the next few weeks, or almost few months, Swami started ignoring me. He never looked at me. And I had this habit, like I just gave a rose here, I used to give a rose to Swami every time. Right? So almost on a very periodic basis, and Swami used to take that rose from me, a letter, talk to me, and he completely ignored me. And now I started thinking, what is it that I have done? And to add to all of this, I was also made to give a public apology, because the teachers were like, this is something that all the students should know, that this is not acceptable. Even if you are a senior student, the discipline is foremost. And then in my mind, I was, not only did I make a public apology so everybody knows that I've done this, but even Swami now believes I have done this grave mistake, that he's ignoring me. And it continued for a few months that Swami started ignoring me. And one fine day, I thought, if Swami is ignoring me, I'm also going to ignore Swami. So I started sitting in far off places. I didn't want to, and if Swami is there, I'll just do fold my hands like this, but I will not be looking at Swami. And this was again I think I was quite young and immature then to think of this. And I'm sitting one particular day near the water cooler, and then I came somewhere near. And then for some reason, Swami that day decided to come there. And he comes there, and he looks at me, and he's like, go and sit there. Go and sit in front of the Vedam group. And I cannot believe that Swami is telling this to me. I continue to be there. I'm like, maybe Swami is mistaken. He meant this for somebody else. In my mind, it was, Swami, you ignored me this long. It can't be me. And I continue to be there. Now, Swami goes there, talks to some more devotees. He comes back, and he still sees me sitting there, and he's now upset. He told, I told you once, don't you understand? Go there and go sit. Go sit in front of the Vedam group there. So I'm there, and then I go to Vednarayan sir. I'm like, sir, Swami has asked me to sit here in front. He's like, if Swami has told you can sit here. And then I go there, and since then Swami, he called me, he's like, you will be sitting here. And that's how he wanted me to be part of that core Vedam group and continue to chant Vedam. Now that year 2008 was also where I got an opportunity to participate in a convocation drama. And a year before, and I had completely forgotten, Swami used to address me as Rama. Rama. And I'm like, my name is Abhishek, why is Swami mistaken? But then when I told this to my mother, she's like, maybe there is something about Rama and some association that's going to happen. And I did not know about it then. A year later in that convocation drama, my role was that of Lord Rama. So Swami had already told that a year back, and then as part of also, and again, that same experience where Swami's heart is so tender and he's so loving that if you are sad, he feels so sad, you're happy, he feels happy. To make up for all of those roses that I missed giving him, this day, being the lead character in that Ramayana drama, I took that entire bouquet which had so many roses and gave it to Swami. So I was thrilled that his delays are not his denials here. So that was another touching incident that happened. This was also the year when they conducted a Sahasra Purna Chandra Darshan, that Swami had seen 1,000 full moons, so we'll do this. So the group from Bangalore had organized, and then everyone had decided that we'll chant Rudram. And then a big group of devotees had also come, and everyone was clad in orange, wearing orange robe and chanting. It was a fantastic atmosphere. Swami also wanted the students to participate. So what Swami did then is he asked a few of us, go, I need 200 students to be chanting, and I will give dhoti to all those students who chant well. So there was a senior brother of mine, myself, a few more, and we decided that we'll start filtering those students who are able to chant Rudram well. Now, in my mind, I had this thought that, thank you, Swami, I have got all of this opportunity. You've been so gracious. I've got all of this dhoti from you as well. There are so many brothers of mine, and this is the last year. We may not get an opportunity again. I should maybe get some of my classmates to get this opportunity and get dhoti from Swami. Now, I knew very well they were not good at chanting. So, but somehow we put pressure, and I told, look, like we memorize for exams, go and memorize this. And then I knew which paragraph the warden sir, who was the person who's also going to filter, I told, look, warden is very fond of this particular paragraph. Learn this drape paragraph, that's enough. He's not going to ask the others. If you know this, that's fine. So they used to memorize, and everyone wanted that. So few of us, we were able to get some of those brothers. And then on that particular day, Swami asked, okay, so do the boys know Rudram? And in my mind, I knew that I had done all of this, but I thought my feeling then and why I had done that was more brothers should get that opportunity. So I told, yes, Swami, they know this. And then Swami did not question it further. He gave the dhotis to all of those brothers, everybody. Everyone was so happy we chanted. But as a group, your voice is getting drowned. Those who don't know, it's fine. So everyone chanted. But there was this one brother, and he was sitting there, and he was not part of the Vedam group. Now, on that particular day, he was in white. So that full third and fourth block was in orange, all of us, as well as all the devotees who were in orange, who were chanting Rudram, and there was this one brother who was in white. Now, Swami asked his elder brother, who was also there, why is your brother sitting in white, right? And he told, Swami, usko Vedam nahi aata. And then Swami told, तुमको बताऊं, वो बाकी के बच्चे हैं, उनको भी वेदम नहीं आता है. And then when he shared this with me, I was like, Swami knew this. And again, one is Swami's expectation. Being the Veda Purusha, his expectation, none of us are ever going to get that perfection. But this was another message where in his compassion and in his love, he wanted to let go the fact that students didn't know this, but he wanted to give that opportunity. Now, with this thought, my next thought came was, this was in terms of Vedam and getting dhotis for 200 students. Won't it be great if a lot more students get similar opportunities? Is it possible? And what could that be? So my thought went, every day after bhajan, and bhajans are happening on a daily basis, can a student give a rose to Swami after bhajans? And I mustered courage on one of these days, and I went and I told Swami, Swami, would it be okay if students can offer you a rose after bhajans? And he told, yes, yes, yes. And before I could complete my full sentence, he told yes. So it was almost like Swami wanted that to happen. But when I go back to my teachers and I tell them, they're like, are you sure you told that? Because there was a period when Swami was not taking roses, and he was like, keep all of your prayers in your heart. So he's like, are you sure this happened? I told, yes, sir, I had asked. So he's like, okay, given you asked, you have to face the consequences if Swami did not tell this. So you give the first rose. So I happened to give the first rose. Swami took that rose. And then I was so happy that he continued to give that opportunity to so many of our students. I think it continued till Swami's Mahasamadhi. So I was really grateful. And the one experience I remember was one of our teachers used to say, you never know when you can become a mouthpiece of Swami. So rather than feeling proud and feeling that Swami is talking to me, sometimes these messages and what Swami is doing, what you are conveying to Swami, it's all meant to benefit somebody else. So when I thought about this, I was really grateful that I got this opportunity in that year 2008. That same year, we were also very fortunate, my family and I. We got an interview with Bhagwan, because Bhagwan had told many times that he'll guide me what I need to do, and he had also told he'll give us an interview. Through that interview that happened over 45 minutes, lot of very, very nice experiences. But Swami also made a materialization, and this is something I did want to share here. He materialized a Ganesha, and he gave it to my mother, and he told, do Abhishekam every day. And to this date, my mother continues to do that, Abhishekam. Now, when I looked at that Ganesha, I started crying, because that Ganesha looked very different. It was not the Ganesha in the Ganesh gate. Typically, that's what we would have seen. It resembled something very familiar to me. And this Ganesha was the Ganesha in our college. In our college, we have a Ganesha there. And the story for me and why I started crying is there was that period when Swami was not looking at me, not talking, not taking my letters. So in the evening, for all those roses, all the letters that were not accepted by Swami, I used to go to that Ganesha, I used to cry. And I used to read that letter there. I used to offer it there. And I used to touch Ganesha's feet and imagine I'm touching Swami's feet every time when that happened. Now, this was almost like a coincidence, but also as a remembrance that I remembered all of those days when you went to that Ganesha. So it's almost like that replica of that Ganesha just reminded me that Swami was there as that indweller even during those times. Now, the next year, 2009, was my last year. Again, I had run out of options of studying further and continuing to be there with Swami. So this was when my thought was, what's the best way to maximize the time I can spend with Swami? So we were coming for a daily darshan in the afternoon, but I had heard if you finish your MTech project quickly, you can ask Bhagwan to permit you to come for morning darshan. So I thought morning and afternoon, that would be much better, and then these last few months would be a fantastic time. So I completed my project real fast, and then I'm sitting there in the bhajan hall with my project, and I had a pen with me. And I go to Swami, and I tell Swami, I've finished my project. He's like, oh, you finished your project? And he tells, show me the project. And he sees the project, and he sees I have dedicated it to him, so he spent a lot of time looking at what I had written there. And then he turns the page, then he looks at the index and everything that's there, the contents. And then he closes it, and he gives it back. Now, I had this thought in me, I had not got anything signed by Bhagwan. So I wanted Swami to sign that for me. So I go to Swami and I tell, Swami, can you please sign this? And Swami, you did not see what I have done as part of this project, can you? And in my limited mind, I started thinking that Swami doesn't know what is there in that. And then immediately Swami looked at me and he told, I don't need to look at it because I did this. And then when I look back, after all these years, the project that I had done and the ideas that were there, all that inspiration couldn't have been me. And the fact that outcome of that, it got delivered in an international conference in US for some work that I had done, and my project guide was from the US, it couldn't have been Swami. I mean, it could only have been Swami and not me who has done this. So when Swami told this, I just thought I was just doing my part, and he was the one who's inspiring and doing all of this. Now, he also did not sign my pen for another reason, because it was a brand new Parker pen that I had, and I was like, Swami should take this and sign it. But I had forgotten that that pen didn't have a refill inside. So Swami literally, he saved me, because it could have been such an embarrassment. I didn't have another pen, but he knows all of this. So it was such a touching incident back then. Now that same year, 2009, that same year, 2009, was also the year when Swami was kind enough to take me to Kodaikanal with fellow brothers. And that trip was very special, because that was the last time I got that proximity to Bhagwan as well. So there were a few incidents I thought I'll share. Do we have a few more minutes to share? Okay. So I'll share this real quick, few more experiences here. So we were told very clearly that one thing all the students should avoid is don't attack the food, because there will be so much variety of food and there will be so much rich food that you should be careful, because a lot of students have experienced stomach problem by trying to eat a lot. Now, that was something that was very clearly communicated. So when we were in the bus going to the Bengaluru airport, we had the brothers who were giving us all these prasadam, all of these wonderful delicacies. And I remembered what the teachers had told, so I was trying to avoid that. And I'm like, no, sir, it's okay, I'll take one. No, you can take, and do you need one more? I told, no, thank you. So I was pretty good. Now, again, this is the monkey mind. And again, at that age, you love to eat a lot. I started thinking, am I missing this opportunity? And then now I'm like, it's okay. My metabolism is good. It will get digested quickly. It might be there for others, not for me. So I decided that I will continue to take whatever is given. I won't say no. So whatever was coming, I started taking all of those, and I started eating, and obviously not just eating, overeating. Now with all of this, I started slowly developing a stomach pain. Now Swami has his own divine ways here for some reason, right? And this pain became so acute, and those days in Kodai, I used to sleep outside Swami's room. So I can't make any sound, and I was under so much pain, and I could not express it out, but Swami is there, and I'm like, Swami, you're just on that other side of this door. You can see the pain that I am in. And then the thought came that it was instructed not to eat, but then Swami is, again, so compassionate. The next day, the pain went away. And then after a few days, Swami jovially, we went to one of the devotees' house, and then we were eating, and then Swami is like, give that boy some more. Give that boy some more. And then I'm like, no, Swami, I don't. No, you can take some more. You can take some more. So it was almost like, have you learned your lesson here? What happened a few days back? And I'm like, yes, Swami, I don't want to overeat here at this point. Now, during this trip, the way it used to happen is we used to have food in that main room where the tables were arranged, and then Swami used to have his food in a separate room inside. He used to finish his food really fast, and he used to come and spend time with us. Now, in my mind, there was this thought, Swami, it will be so wonderful if we can feed you. And again, for some reason, I had this, that I want to feed Swami, I want to give something to Swami. And then the next thought was that, I think it's just a thought, this is not going to happen. How can it happen? I think there are other brothers who are giving this, and they have this work, and they're doing it. I should just cherish me just being in Kodaikanal. But Swami wanted to even fulfill this another very silly desire of mine, and this is how it unfolded. We were seated in that room, and then Swami was talking to us, sharing us some stories. And this is Kodaikanal, and we all know it's a little cooler. All of a sudden, Swami started saying, I'm feeling very hot, I'm feeling very hot. And immediately there were two brothers who were sitting next to Swami's chair. They rushed inside to the kitchen to get water. And then I was behind, and I could immediately see that behind Swami's chair, there was a table with a water tumbler on it. I immediately went there. I took that water tumbler. Now, normally you would give that to Swami, and I don't know what happened, but again, it's same thing, and it was almost like Swami wanting me to do that. I lifted it, and I started giving Swami water with my own hands. And then when I look back at it, that one thought that I want to feed Swami, and here Swami even fulfilled me giving water to him. With all of this proximity that we got, all the senior devotees who were there kept telling us, boys, you all are so fortunate. 27 of y'all are here in this room with Swami, and there are so many devotees outside who are trying to have this kind of a proximity. Y'all should cherish this moment. And all of us thought this is something that completely is thank you, Swami. And then when we looked at Swami, Swami was lost. And Swami was thinking, and he started telling this, they are coming. They are coming. The Russians are coming. And then he started talking of these Russian devotees who were going to come to Kodaikanal, and then he started talking about all the hardships that they were facing, but still they were so focused and they had so much of love for Bhagwan. And that's when this thought passed in my mind. And then it came back to that thought, or what message Swami had given a few years back, nearness is not dearness. And I thought, it's great. We all have this physical proximity here, but being in Swami's thought and being dear to Swami, isn't that what we all should aspire for? Because physical proximity, Swami knows, maybe we need all of this, but could we get in Swami's thoughts like those Russians and be dear to Swami? Because Swami was, when all of this was being told by those senior devotees and all of us were also expressing, Swami was completely lost and thinking of those Russians. This happened in the year 2009, and then we know Swami took Mahasamadhi in 2011. I would like to share 2 more experiences of the divine Swami and how he's continued to guide. This happened in the year 2011, a month after Mahasamadhi in May, when, as part of my job, I had to travel overseas. Back then I was in India, so I had to come for the first time. My maiden trip was to US, and I had to make a connection through London. We had booked British Airways, so London Heathrow Airport. All of us know how busy that airport is, and I had never stepped foot outside of India any time to know what I was in for. So once I come to London Heathrow Airport, I'm completely lost because I don't know where I'm going, and I didn't know where to go and ask help. And I had a connecting flight to take from London to Dallas. And through all of this, I'm thinking, this is such a big airport, I'm lost. What is happening? Who's here to guide me? And I'm sitting in this that transit train, and then there are 3 people opposite me. There's a father, a mother, and a daughter. And the mother looks at me and she tells, "Are you Swami student?" And I am completely taken aback. What are the chances that this is London Heathrow, such a busy airport, and somebody tells me, "Are you Swami student?" I told, "Excuse me, but why do you ask me?" They told, "We see your ring. And we know this is the ring which Swami gives. And looking at you, you look young, so are you Swami student?" I told, "Yes." And I told, and they asked me, "Where are you going?" And then apparently they tell me, "We are locals here. And by the way, if you have to go, this is not the train. You get down," and they give me all the instruction. And I'm in time, and I'm able to take my next flight. Now the next flight is even more interesting because the full flight is packed. The seat next to me is empty. And then I start crying because I remember the last interview that Swami gave, and I was holding Swami's hand and I was telling Swami, "I don't want to leave you, I don't want to go." And he kept reassuring, "I will be there." And he told, "I will send you. I will send you overseas. I'll send you to America, and I will be there." But I had completely forgotten, and this is Swami in his divine self there, right? Because Swami had already taken Mahasamadhi, but he continued and he kept up his promise. And when I saw the full flight is packed and just the seat next to me is empty, I thought, this is Swami in his divine self. And like we have heard stories in Satcharitra, maybe he played another miracle on me by having that family who were nothing but him, guiding me through that experience so that I'm able to take that connecting flight. So this happened in the year 2011. In the year 2015, my wife and me, we had gone to Japan. So she had an official visit and I was there. We visited the Sai Center. We went to multiple places. On that particular day, we were in Yokohama, in Japan. And we were seeing all of these wonderful places. And suddenly my heartbeat started going up. And I was very troubled. There's something that was very different. And a very strong voice started telling me, "Chant Lalita Sahasranamam." And I thought, this is my mind telling me something, it can't be. But it kept telling, "Chant Lalita Sahasranamam, chant Lalita Sahasranamam." Now, again, not being realized and not knowing, I told my wife, I think Swami is possibly telling me to chant Lalita Sahasranamam, but maybe it's for you. Why don't you chant Lalita Sahasranamam? Both of us can do it. Let's go home and let's go back to the hotel and we can do that. But then that voice kept telling me, "Chant Lalita Sahasranamam." I come back, and then I didn't have a signal on my phone, but I come back to the room, and then I get a message. It's very attached to my paternal grandmother, and she had expired. Now, hearing that message that she'd expired, I break down and I start crying. And I cry, I weep so much. I'm unconsolable. And then my wife, she tells me, why don't you chant Lalita? Right? Maybe you got that message. Maybe that is Swami. Why don't you chant? And I start chanting Lalita. I complete it. And then immediately, as if it's like a switch, all that sobbing, all that crying, it stops. And then I thank Swami that the one thing, and I realized this, and this is how he had left me in that. He told, I want you to do only that one thing. Don't doubt. Don't doubt that it's me. And we continue to have our own challenges. So again, I'll like to end on this, that hopefully this was, thank you very much, Sarvadharma Center, for this opportunity to relive this. Hopefully there was message for all of us here. But I really thank Swami that through these years, he gave this opportunity, that firm faith, patience, perseverance, and that yearning and that single-minded focus on Swami is what makes us dear. And I pray to him, dearest Swami, give all of us more opportunities to become dear to you. I'll end with a song that as students we used to sing, very special song which we continue to sing. Kanula mundara kadaliyade karuna rupamu neevu పిలచినంతనే పలుకరించే ప్రేమ భావము నీవు నీవే మా సర్వం నీవే మా ప్రాణం నీవే మా సర్వం నీవే మా ప్రాణం. Thank you, Swami. Thank you, everyone.
Sarma. Can you sing the Nestama if you can? Can you? No. Okay. Right. Anybody has any questions? This is short. Okay.
Saram, brother, that's really wonderful. Thank you for making us live through you, Swami's presence. Just have a question. You said that Swami told you several things which are which happened in Ramayana, but none of us know. Most of us know. Can you just tell us one incident?
So there were so many. Again, it's been a few years. So but I do remember this one which I thought I'll share. So this was about how Rama decided to end Vali, right? So we all know the story, but how was Rama an equal, right? Because we know Vali was so great, right, as a person. But then what I remember, again, it's slightly, my memory isn't that great, but what Swami had told was when Rama shot that arrow, it went through so many trees and it pierced through those that Vali got scared that here is an equal. So what I remember from this incident was that Vali, who was such a great warrior himself, the fact that Rama had to kill, he had to prove that he's an worthy opponent to Vali, and he demonstrated it through this one incident. Then there were other incidents as well, right? And Swami had told this incident about the Paisam and what happened. And he had also told one incident, and again, I don't remember it, but I can share it later if I have that book. He had told something about one of the sister. And again, I don't remember her name specifically, but I'll get back on this. But there were 2 or 3 which were very unique, which is not there. But again, it should be there, and I'll definitely share that.
Can you tell us about the Payasam thing? We're not familiar with that.
No, this is the Paisam thing. I think then we've heard about this as well, right? That when the Putra Kameshti Yagna, there was the Paisam, and then the Paisam was divided among the 3 queens. One of that queen, right, Sumitra, she lost her Paisam, which was taken, and again, the bird came and took it away. And then it was equally divided, that portion, right, from Kausalya and from Kaikeyi. it was given. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Sai Ram, my question is, you were teaching Rudram and across many other globally also. So what were your thoughts on that, and did Swami specifically talk anything about instruction, since many of the people cannot pronounce it as well? So how did he say anything specifically?
I'll share maybe experience why I thought chanting Rudram or hearing Rudram is good. And that, again, Swami didn't tell me specifically. Again, we have heard discourses where Swami told, chant Rudram, life will be Bhadram. Right? We all know about that. Again, the difficulty part, right? Yes, it is difficult. Again, it takes a lot of years. But to me, it goes back that Swami wants that bhava, right? I think that feeling is more important than all the grammatical rules, because I can share this one experience, right? And this is my personal experience and why I got more faith in Rudram and to hear Rudram and to chant Rudram. So this happened in the year 2009. After I had passed out, I was in Mumbai, I was serving there. And I got this message one day that my aunt, she was admitted to the ICU. And then she had a health problem. And again, getting to know that ICU, I thought it's something very serious that has happened. So I took permission to rush and go to the hospital. Now, when I'm at the train station in Navi Mumbai, I closed my eyes and the train was going to come in a few minutes. I started chanting Rudram. I started Rudram and I started chanting Rudram. I completed Rudram and then I boarded the train and I go to the hospital, and then my uncle tells me that aunt she's out of danger, she's out of the ICU and she is in the general ward. So I go and see her, she's fine. I just asked my uncle, what time did this happen and what actually happened? And he gave me the time and I was shocked because it was exactly the same time when I completed the Rudram. So to me, Rudram has that power of not only if you chant it, it benefits you for sure, but benefits everybody around you as well. And that's been my experience, and maybe that's why Swami asked all of us specifically, and especially if you see towards the end of his physical journey, to chant Rudram on an everyday basis. And again, the experience from everybody has been, it not only supercharges that environment, brings that focus, but the way I look at it, it confers two things on all of us, right? One is we all need Chitta Shuddhi, right? That's most important. And then we're doing it for Loka Kalyana. Again, there have been a lot more experiences on Rudram as well, more like at a metaphysical level too. But the way I have seen specifically with Rudram is, we know it generates a lot of heat and energy, but through that, it also over time confers peace, and it slowly in the process changes the mind of people, which is what I think is fundamental for the current situation that also we are living in through the world. So just thought, but nothing specific, sister, nothing that Swami told me about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Saram.
So thank you, Brother Abhishek. That was a wonderful talk. I mean, literally, we could feel Swami's presence, through your talk. And we can see that there are a lot more experiences you have with Swami, which, we would have liked to hear, but I know there's only so much time we have. So a couple of things struck me. One was about this Russian thing Swami was talking about. We ourselves had a first-hand experience, as many of us know, that a couple of Russians came here who didn't even speak English. And they were the first people to actually volunteer, if you think about it, right, Dr. Rao? They were the first people to volunteer for the Atirudram Yagna. I mean, they just call it event. They say, we came for the event. And they're one of the first people to sign up. And these people can't even speak English. And they live far away in Queens. And they sign for all 11 days, for all time. Now, that's a dedication we can see, nearest and dearest, what you said, that's exactly true. These people have never seen Swami before, and they've never seen even Swami devotees. So they came here because they've seen only that in YouTube. So first time they're seeing live here and their experience. So that is a wonderful, wonderful experience. And then as far as the Rudram is concerned, every time we chant here, right? We have a physical example like this Apple Watch. It actually asks, are you doing any elliptical exercise? And then, yeah, during bhajan and also during the Rudram. So when I say yes, it finishes my daily routine elliptical exercise in the Apple Watch. So you can, so it's pretty conclusive on that one. So I think we can go on, but at this point, we are already at the 1 o'clock hour. So we'd like to thank you for coming and, and arranging with your wonderful children. Like I say, we like to hear, sisters talk also one day with her experiences. Look, it's not your experience of mine, it's really Swami's experience. We all can feel it. So we really appreciate that. And if you can come by, we'd like to, felicitate you if you can, please. Come to the front. Brother Mohan, Dr. Mohan will be the person who will be felicitated. You can come by here, by Swami's chair. So, yeah. Thanks very much again. We look forward to seeing another session of yours. So with this, we'll do our Maharti. Jai Jai